Could the announcement of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy Switch and PC port be soon? And what was in this massive leak? Let's find out! What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and I am back with some news, a leak, and of course, a tiny dose of a theory about the Spyro Reignited Switch and PC port. This has literally been the most asked question in my comment sections, wondering when the Purple Fire Swag Boy will be on the Nintendo Switch. It has slightly been driving me crazy, but I get it. I know the strictly Nintendo users want to play the Purple Boy on the go, and I know the PC Master Race wants to see Spyro in 60 FPS, but I don't have answers. Until now, as there seems to be a lot of stuff that's popped up over the weekend. So first off, it's inevitable that Spyro will be coming to the Switch. Not only has it been one of the biggest demands by the fans, but it just makes sense. My rule that is almost true every time is, whatever happens to Crash, happens to Spyro, as long as it's not ridiculous. And don't you dare throw my rule back in my face when it comes to people asking for the Enter the Dragonfly remake just because CTR got one. No! No, that's not happening! No! More on this in an upcoming video. Stay tuned for it. Also, the Nintendo Switch has released a patch that actually supports the Unreal Engine natively, so it's possible that Spyro might be able to run a little bit better than Crash's port, as it was made on Alchemy and required some fan dangling by an engineer for it to even work. Again, more on that in a different video. Of course, the fact that Crash got a Switch port as well is a piece of glaring evidence that points to a Spyro Nintendo Switch port. So the combination of fan requests, the Switch supporting the Unreal Engine natively, and Crash getting a Switch version screams that a Spyro port is inevitable. On top of all of this, recently Spyro released footage of different character trailers showing new textures, lighting, and seemingly improved animation fixes, showing that a patch would be coming. I've gone over those changes already in the previous video, but let's just take a quick look at Bentley's trailer.
The first rejuvenating breath of freedom. Now hold on. One more, perhaps?
But how does a patch have anything to do with the ports? Again, if we look to Crash, when they released the ports of the games, it came with a patch to fix things like loading screens. So if Spyro were to follow the same path, the patch would be coming around the same time as the ports. But something's popped up that's raised my eyebrow. So let's go through the order of what has popped up over the weekend. First off, a user by the name of Junksy over on Twitter sent me this image. I had to go investigate it myself, and here's what's going on. When you go to the official Spyro website, then you scroll down to choose where to buy it and what system to purchase it on. When you hit the drop down menu to select the system, there is a blank spot. But weirdly enough, this blank area can actually be selected. Like, you can choose blank for your system choice. Now, when I saw this, I knew that something likely big was coming in terms of the ports for the game. A friend of the channel, Shabebly the Great, looked at the HTML code of both Crash and Spyro's websites. The blank spot on Spyro's site lists as a code that says last. Now, when looking at the Crash site, I mean the Crash Bandicoot site, we can see that under the platform selection screen, we can see that the code name for the PC version for Crash is also codenamed last. So this seems to be definitive proof that not only are we getting a Switch version, but a PC version as well. Now, I can hear the PC Master Race giving a 60 frames per second high five, but some of you Switch owners might be confused as to how this applies to you. It's actually simple. When Crash went multi-platform a year after its release, it released the respective Xbox port, but also a PC and Switch port all at the same time. So that means if we find evidence for Spyro in terms of a PC or Switch port, that is evidence for the other respective console or system as well. The blank spot could be that they have other system options getting prepped and ready to go on the website for pre-order. This makes me think that the new ports will be announced soon, and there is a huge leak that came out talking about these ports. But before we get to that, I want to make sure you guys are up to date about the news of the upcoming ports. See, a few months before Spyro even came out, there was something incredibly similar to the blank spot that also showed up on the official Spyro website. When you went to the system choices way back when, one of the options for a very short period of time was a Nintendo Switch. However, that was quickly taken down. How this got to the official site and there not being a Nintendo Switch version in the works makes no sense to me. On top of that, when Spyro was announced, Nintendo UK released an actual ad that showed that Spyro was coming to the Switch and that pre-orders were open. This was taken down as well. There just seems to be too much evidence pointing to the fact that Spyro is coming to the Switch, and that seems to be because Spyro is coming to the Switch, according to this leak. GameStop Germany released a listing for pre-order on the Spyro Reignited Trilogy this past Sunday. At the time of recording this video, it was yesterday, people, and the system it's listed under is the one that literally everyone and their grandma has been asking for, the Nintendo Switch. But not just a listing, but even a release date too. According to the said listing, the Spyro Reignited Trilogy will be released on August 16th, 2019, this summer. So we are waiting less time than we did for Crash for the Switch port. But like I said, we also have evidence of a PC port coming as well. And like I said, when there's evidence for one, there is evidence for the other. So we can assume that the PC port will be coming in August as well. However, as of Monday, they took down the listing as it was likely a mistake and was put up on the site way too early. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, yeah, Spyro is coming to the Switch very likely, we know that, but what makes you think the announcement might be so soon? And that is a great question, because there are two aspects that point to its immediacy. The first one is the fact that this blank spot has shown up on the official site almost the same time that GameStop Germany posted their listing of the Switch version coming. But there is something else that seems unrelated at first, but the timing seems to add up. See, there is this huge rumor from a reputable source that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct soon. Now, this source apparently has gotten many things right in previous leaks. They claim specifically that the Direct would be on February 13th, or something would be announced in terms of when the Direct will be on the 13th. Now, even if they are wrong on the date, there is bound to be a Direct soon, as this time frame has been the longest since we have had a Nintendo Direct in a long time. Specifically, if I'm correct, the last time was September at the time of making this video. Also, Nintendo has come forward to say that there are games that have not been announced yet that are coming to the Switch in 2019. People speculated a lot of those games could be ports from third-party companies, and that includes Spyro now that Activision owns him. He is now considered a third-party character. So during the Nintendo Direct, we are expecting that Spyro will be announced and is coming in summer of 2019. Now, one last thing before I wrap this video up. So with the Switch version coming out, this also means that we'll be getting a patch for the other consoles as well, as I mentioned before, likely fixing a lot of issues that people have been having with the Reignited Trilogy. So fingers crossed that lots of those issues that many have been encountering gets resolved with this patch. Now, I am hoping it will roll out before the game comes out, but at least we have a date that it will likely drop, as when Crash got his patch, it was around the same time that the other ports came out. I think it was a day or two before the other ports came out officially. The patch was applied and fixed a lot of problems that the Insane Trilogy had. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra.
Whee!